This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24.
Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 18th of April 2021 for another exciting, fun-filled episode, and let's just jump straight into it. Wow, okay, I'm really not going to be able to talk to so well today. Anyway, let's get started with the latest release from developer Perfect Flight with their release of their USA Coast to Coast add-on. So this is their latest release in a series of discovery flights or bush trips they're releasing to sort of go through various areas and parts of the world. This is probably, I'm going to say, one of their entries that I'm actually fairly impressed with from the description and looking through the information about it. So this add-on is a bush trip with a series of flights, a series of legs. You have 17 legs in total, where you actually cross from the East Coast to the West Coast of the US and back through a different route. And you actually touch on a large number of points of interest, a lot of the photogrammetry cities. They're included as part of the older USA update. And a lot of other content coming through here as well. Each of the bush trips and each of the legs actually has step-by-step sort of instruction, also sort of guides, instructions and little tips and little bits of information about the POIs and the cities that you're going to see. So a lot of work went into this from Perfect Flight. It also includes a livery for the default caravan that you're going to fly throughout this one. Okay, so just one thing I'm going to say on the livery. So, okay, I get that the livery is the Perfect Flight house colors and they're an Italian developer. I get that. That's fine. But think of the theme. Hey, guys, think of the theme. You're doing an American tour. Maybe theme it in American colors or American flag or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's probably the only thing. It's a minor thing. But I look at that and go, yeah, okay, I get that it's your Perfect Flight. It's your house colors. But scenario. Anyway. But as I said, otherwise, this one's looking pretty good. It's, as I said, it gives you 17 legs. Over almost 5,000 nautical miles of crossing from one side of the US and back again. So there's a lot going on this add-on. Coming in for $12 or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Okay, all right. This next release, wow. Okay, so this is... Oh, okay. So this is from scenery developer, new fly-by-night scenery developer Demos Incorporated, with their release of their first aircraft, payware or otherwise, of their rendition of an F-16V Viper for MSFS. So here's a couple of red flags that immediately shoot up for me. Okay, so the first thing is this is a brand new scenery developer that's only got a half dozen products out. No previous content released for legacy sims come in strict purely for MSFS. The quality of their content was good, has been declining steadily, that we've discussed here, and we've discussed their products here on the NovaWrap before. This is their first aircraft release. Here's the first thing that red flags for me, and this not only red flags for aircraft but also for scenery as well, is when there's no description about the actual add-on, when it's purely about like a copy pasta from Wikipedia. That's my first thing. And then suddenly how they're doing the same thing, which funny enough, both Braydock and MS Scenery have both done as well, where they put this weird disclaimer in there saying that they're authorized to use parts contained in the original sim. Oh, okay. So so instantly red flags were going up before I even looked at the screenshots. Then I looked at the screenshots and I went, oh dear God. Okay. I get it that you're trying to make money. I get it. Stop it. Stop trying to fleece the community. This thing is so shiny. It's so shiny. My guess is the PBR materials, they've just dumped it in from whatever model they purchased and didn't actually look at how the PBR actually works inside MSFS. That's my first guess. My second thing is I get now I'm going to be very careful, be very, very mindful here and say, look, I get it's not supposed to be a study level aircraft. It's not supposed to be, 100% accurate. I get it. That's fine. And there's been some comments and people saying, "Oh, well, it's fun to fly." It's like, well, look, I'm not going to explain that. And I said, going for the 80% solution or the option of where you look in something that feels good, looks right, feels good, and flies okay, is a good place to go for our MSFS sort of sim. The DC Designs absolutely goes for that, and I think they do really, really well in that space. RO Simulations do that as well. So yeah, the 80% solution market is fine. Being 100% accurate is not necessary. However, at least freaking try to make it look right. This thing, all it's done is they've just dumped in the HTML gauges from the default aircraft. That's it. Didn't even bother trying to disguise it and make it look like that they're actual F-16 systems. Didn't even bother trying to fight it. And it just looks terrible. Like, as I said, like the overall 3D model isn't bad, except for the wingtip rails. They are awful. The overall model doesn't look too bad. It's got a couple of basic animations in it, but textures are terrible, materials are awful, and the avionics are they didn't even try. And it's just it's not forgivable. Now if this was freeware, I'd say good shot at your first freeware. I'd say, you know what, good shot at your first freeware. It's a lot more forgiving for freeware to be like, okay, you're using default gauges as you work to maybe look at doing something better later on. But when you're charging $25 $25 for this off the bat, when you haven't even tried to make it look like the real thing, no, unforgivable, not okay. This is Braydock 3D and MS Scenery all over again. They are in this for a money grab, and that's it. This is what happens, folks, when people see, and unfortunately, yeah, rightly or wrongly, there is a hole in the market where there is a desire for this kind of aircraft to be in the sim, and unfortunately, it's developers like this to give good quality developers a bad name, and they will get, the people will buy this, get burnt, and never want to touch another add-on again. So, Demos, my suggestion is, pull the damn product, get it off the shelves. If you are serious and you want to improve it with actually, doing proper avionics, doing, sound sets, and actually doing things like, making it actually worthy of a product for our community, then release it when it's ready. Like real developers do. Don't just throw it out there and hope for the best. And it's just, I just can't with this. I really, really can't. Anyway, as I said, if you're looking to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $25 or original equivalent. Why you would want to, I don't know, but available now from SimMarket. Moving on to scenery releases for the world of MSFS, starting with the team at Orbex releasing their latest airport of Meribel Airport in Austria. So this is a fascinating little airport, and it's sort of ranked alongside, sort of very close to Courchevel, which of course we are all very, very familiar with for its sloped runways. And this is another airport that has one of those challenging sloped runways as well. Servicing the ski resorts of the region, this is a prime location for GA aircraft operating throughout the year, especially during, of course, the winter months, servicing the skiers, the ski crowd. This airport has come to us with a highly detailed rendition of the airport, including high-quality modelling of all airport buildings, and not only the airport buildings, but also the surrounding area, including ski lifts, ski equipment, chalets, and more. Full PBR texture support throughout all airport buildings and airport materials, a variety of custom airport clutter to bring life to that, custom projected mesh for the airport and surrounding areas along with the airport runway slope, accurately modeled as well, full support for night lighting, and gives us all a challenging elevated approach for this one as well. Like it literally, like even the runway looks like a damn ski jump. It really is. It is kind of cool. Also loving the screenshots that show some of the snow accumulation as well. So the team at Orbex have really gone all out with this airport. If you're looking for somewhere different to head into, this could be something to look at. And coming in for a pretty good price too, coming in at $10 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbex. Moving on with scenery releases, developer Northern Sky Studios saw this week the release of their latest Alaskan airports with the release of Talkeetna Airport in Alaska. So this is a small, sort of primarily GA airport, providing a variety of air services and sort of air taxi services throughout Alaska, especially servicing mountains and glaciers of the nearby K2 mountain range nearby as well. Now, this is a highly detailed airport, giving us as laid out as it is in 2021, including its main runway, its main runway, asphalt runway, as well as a helipad nearby as well. All airport buildings have been actually accurately detailed and modelled, including custom terrain mesh for the airport area and surrounding areas as well. Full use of PBR materialing as well, and custom night lighting included, along with custom orthophoto or aerial imagery and orthophotos for the airport and surrounding areas as well. And this one comes in for $10 or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with scenery releases, this time from developer Azure Poly, saw this week their release of their rendition of Lyon-Bron Airport in France. So this is a small business airport, sort of business bizjet and GA airport, GA focused airport, servicing the Lyon Seine-Saint-Exupéry region in France. Includes a high-resolution, accurate 3D models of all airport buildings, the airport layout as it is in 2021, including custom airport buildings custom models for all major airport buildings, along with a variety of ground clutter and ground objects to add to the immersion for the airport as well. Full use of PBR textures throughout the airport and ground poly, and also custom night lighting included as well. And this one's coming in for $13 or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with scenery releases from developer Roman Design. So this week, the release of their latest Canadian airport with the release of Ottawa McDonald Cartier International Airport, being Ontario's second busiest airport with over 5 million passengers annually. Now, this airport gives us a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears at the end of 2020, including 30 handcrafted airport buildings, custom and given high detailed modelling. The terminal building includes a full interior modelling with tinted windows and passengers throughout the terminal. The ATC tower has been custom modelled both internally and externally as well. A variety of what's interesting in this one, and I'm kind of happy about it. I really like it when developers do this, by the way. There are 5 open hangars with interior modelling, and that includes start spots inside them as well. Like, I really like it when devs have start spots inside hangars. There's just something about it which I think is really well done, so I like that. Also includes custom ground poly, custom ground markings throughout there as well, including handcrafted runways matching Canadian markings, custom taxiways, custom night lighting throughout, and multiple custom signs and a variety of other animated materials, both for the terminal buildings and surrounding areas to add to your immersion as well. Also includes the National Research Council of Canada's aerospace facilities, including their wind tunnel complex, and the Ottawa Flying Club with their GA runway and options as coming in as well. And this one's coming in for $20 or your original equivalent, available now from Roman Designs. Moving out of the Microsoft Flight Simulator world and moving into the world of Prepared now. So this week with the release of a single product that I could find for P3D release this week from developer Living Airports, which is a developer I'd never heard of before. So this brought with their release this week of their product called 3D Lights Prepared. Now, initially I looked at this and wasn't sure what to make of it, but I did a bit of reading on it and it looks kind of interesting. I'm torn about the price tag though, and I'm interested with the size of it as well. So just reading from the summary of it is 3D lights. Basically, it overhauls the lighting system not for your airports or your aircraft, but for your auto-gen and sort of your normal generic scenery. So if you fly at night, this is probably going to be important for you. So what it actually does is they've gone through the OpenStreetMaps roads information for all the continents except Antarctica, pulled all that information together, and actually then applied some algorithms to it to be able to redo all of the lighting on all the streets everywhere around the world. So essentially, does a lot of the vector data that's in your sim as well. So there's a lot going on under the hood for this add-on, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. Includes a custom configurator as well, so you can actually choose, how deep you want to go with this. You want it just to replace the lights on your major highways, or do you want to go all the way down to the smallest of minor roads throughout your sim? So there's a lot through there. It's designed apparently to be FPS friendly, but I know how heavy lights can be, so I'll be curious to see how they work that one out. But it is coming in. It's a fairly hefty install. Like we're talking sort of 2.5 plus gig here, 2.5, 3 gig here. So it's a big add-on for there, compatible with not just the default sim, but also with all the major third-party sceneries as well, including Orbex and all your photoreal scenery providers as well. So there's a lot going on there, or Mega Scenery Earth and like as well. So a lot of compatibility coming in for $35 or original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Moving out of the ESP world and moving into the world of X-Plane 11 this week, so a few releases this week. First off was a sound set release from Mango Studios with their release this week of their custom sound pack for the Flight Factor 767. This providing with a updated sound set, both internally and externally, including all custom cockpit sound switches, custom cockpit sounds, including a variety of custom switches, buttons, knobs, and rotaries, all models through that one as well. Includes sound sets for 3 different engine types. So includes includes the General Electric CF6s, the RB211 from Rolls-Royce, and the Pratt & Whitney 4000 engine sets are all included as well. Includes a variety of external sounds, including fuel truck, GPU, APU, all customized and remade, as well as a variety of external and internal weather sounds, including thunder, rain, and hail, all included as well. So a lot going through here, a lot kind of set up there, coming in for $15 or original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on now with more X-Plane 11 releases, moving into the world of scenery releases. This week we saw from TDM Scenery with their release, so TDM Scenery Design, release of 2 airports, their first 2 airports for X-Plane 11. So this developer had been focusing on MSFS for a while, and they've actually ported over one of their sceneries over into the X-Plane 11 world. They're pouring over of Mea Bonaventura Vivas Airport for X-Plane 11. So this one comes over at Colombian Airport, fairly high detail, full use of all the models. So they've just put models across PBR textures, so nothing really with it there. Reuse some of the models, but it's still a native X-Plane 11 airport, looking pretty good. Gives some challenging approaches, looking pretty good. The other one they released was Barinas or Luisa Caracas de Arismedia Airport for X-Plane 11, also a Venezuelan airport as well. Again, looking pretty good. This one, air terminal control tower, native airport layout, done in native X-Plane 11 content as well. What I'm impressed about is the price point. Each of these comes in for $8. So, I mean, they're a bit rough around the edges. The photo imagery they sit on is not great, but the modeling is basic but good and enhances the airport from the default. So for the price tag, not too bad. Both of these available now direct from TDM Scenery Design or from your favorite flight sim retailer, available now. Continuing on with scenery releases from developer Boundless, saw the release this week of their rendition of Stansted Airport. So a base for Ryanair. This is the airport as it appears at the end of 2020, including high definition 12.5 centimeter resolution ortho imagery of the airport and surrounding areas, including accurate airport runway layout, runway and taxiway and parking layout, as I said, at the end of 2020. All airport buildings are modeled, including HD textures and 4K custom PBR textures are included as well. Variety of other interesting little UK-specific content added in there as well to include there. It also includes animated Stansted monorail and Stansted express trains. This would be interesting. I've flown out of Stansted several times over the years, but not lately. So I'd be kind of interested to go back and have a look at this actually, because I think there'd be a bit of reminiscing there, I think. But anyway. Also includes support for Traffic Global, as also support for Orbex True Earth GB South, as well as support for default content as well. And this was coming in for $25 or your virtual equivalent, available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. And continue on with X-Plane 11 scenery releases. Saw from developer Vertical Sim Studios. Saw this week the release of Fayetteville Regional Airport in America. So this is a highly detailed rendition of the airport in North Carolina. Now, I've got to admit that I'm a little confused by this add-on, because the publication over on Vertical Sims' website talks about the 2020 airport layout and the 2021 airport layout. So I'm kind of confused as to whether it's offering you can switch between the two, or whether... Like, I don't believe they've released this product before. I believe this is a new product. So I was like, initially I thought, well, maybe this is a re-release. But it seems to be a new release. But yeah, it just seems to talk about 2020 and 2021 airport layout. I'm a little confused about why. Like, I know some airports offer like future layouts when their airport buildings and stuff like that still being like under construction and stuff like that, and sort of saying, well, this is how it looks now versus, and then you can switch to what it's going to look like at the end of construction in like 5 years time or whatever. But this is the first one I've seen it going back in time, so a little weird. But either way, the stats seem pretty standard. The only thing that's really different is that the 2021 layout seems to include the signature FBO building complex. That seems to be the only additional line that seems to be added in. So, I don't know. There you go. Otherwise, it's pretty standard features coming in. High resolution PBR take ground textures throughout. Custom ortho photo imagery for the airport and surrounding areas. Full support for World Traffic 3, animated ground vehicles, animated car traffic, and animated custom jetways via the SAM plugin as well. And you can pick this one up coming in at $15 or your original equivalent, available now from Vertical Sims. Moving out of flight simulation and moving into the world of the permanent way. So this week for a train simulator released their latest train of the New Haven DL109 locomotive. So this was a locomotive. It's very sort of... no, it's not steampunk's the wrong word. Maybe steampunk is the right word, but it's sort of like that 30s, 40s era looking train, because it is a train out of the era of the late 1930s. So this was developed by train manufacturer Alco, which is one of America's big three locomotive builders in the early 1900s. And following a competitor producing the first electromotive unit, the Alco actually sort of produced this as their answer to it by being their first diesel passenger locomotive. It was marketed towards in the late 1930s, early 1940s as an option for service providers to be able to use dual service trains for DL109, so where you can carry passengers during the day but do freight work efficiently and effectively during the night. And for that, New Haven required 60 of these trains between 1941 and 1945. Now, this particular rendition gives a highly detailed rendition of the Alco D11109 2,000 horsepower diesel locomotive with 5 authentic New Haven liveries. Includes a variety of rolling stock, including passenger cars and freight stock as well, including multiple liveries and interiors, internals as well. Includes 5 career scenarios that are compatible with the Springfield New Haven route add-on if you have it as well. And you can pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving from the permanent way and moving to the track with this week the latest DLC for Monster Energy Supercross 4 with the release of the two-stroke bikes packs. This brings the 125cc, the thrill of two-stroke 125cc racing to your Monster Energy Supercross Championship. It gives you 5 new bikes, the Honda CR 125R, Husqvarna TC 125, KTM 125SX, Suzuki RM 125, and the Yamaha YZ 125, along with the official Seattle 2020 track, all included with that. I always got to admit that I'm not really into the bike games, but the graphics on this do look amazing. They really, really do. You pick this one up, but you can pick this one up for $10 or original equivalent, available now from Steam. Sticking with two wheels, with Ride 4 this week releasing their latest DLC this week with their release of their Extreme Performance DLC. Again, they're releasing some 5 new bikes, but this time they're releasing 10 extra events to go with these new bikes. The 5 new exclusive bikes are the Aprilia RSV4 RF, the Honda CBR 1000 R, the Fireblade SP, the Honda CBR 1000R Fireblade SP, the Ducati 1299 Superleggera, and the Kawasaki ZH2, and the Triumph Speed Triple RS. As I said, with all those bikes, along with 10 new events. Not sure what the events are, no information about that. And you can pick this one up for $5 or original equivalent, available for your favorite racing platform. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week with the greatest simulator of all time. No, seriously, I can't believe that this guy is actually still making this, actually improving it, and actually still making money from this. This is Tree Simulator 2022. This is the 3rd in this franchise. I am not kidding. You're a tree. That's it. That's basically it. But the best part about this one, though, I can't believe I'm actually going to say that there's a best part about this, is that this is now multiplayer compatible. Yes, that's right, folks. You can now be multiplayer trees together. Up to 100 trees can be in your forest. I have no words. I really don't. $2 on Steam, available now, if you would like to see what life would be like as a tree. And with that, folks, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos and like to see more. And if you can always catch up with me between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.